conversation, and I think coming in from both of you, is that when you look at a budget, essentially what you're doing is that you're looking at the indicators with that which will then allow you to spend in the next year, in the fiscal space, in that fiscal period. Now, the reports that you talk about, one of those is the economic survey, the report, the outlook, which, by the way, surprise, surprise, is done by the National Treasury. The Treasury puts together that output, that report. And that is supposed to then be the data and information which you like that forms how you will then indicate spending for the next year. But interestingly enough, what the economic survey that came out in about March or so then gave rise to does not match in the budget, because what it is supposed to do is that it should give you a forecast as to how you will then budget. That didn't happen in this budget from what we are seeing. The same people who came up with the report are the same people who came up with the budget. You would think that they were two different entities, but they're the same. So now my question takes us back a year from the 2025-2026 budget. How do we see that it performed vis-a-vis the situation on the ground, and what hope does that give you for the year 2026-2027? We'll start with you, James.
I don't know if you guys have money in your pockets, because I don't.
I don't have a pocket, right? Please carry on.
They said we should tighten our belts. I know some of us don't have one because we can't afford one. I have not seen any improvement from last year. In fact, if anything, we've gotten worse. And if going by the planning role that Treasury is supposed to have, and by now they have the indicators with them, they should have realized that the economy did not grow as they anticipated in the last 1 year. So they should have recollected and probably posed the question, how do we do this differently? How do we do it better? Because if you continue taxing a shrinking economy, you just strangle it. How then do you ensure the economy grows so that you tax from a point of, say, surplus? We have not achieved that in a long time. If you would ask me where the 2.4 to 2.5 billion shillings that have been earmarked for development expenditure in the last 3 years have gone to, I would not answer that question confidently, because we've annexed 800 plus billion every year for development expenditure. That was from 2022 to 2023. Let's assume they were warming their seats in the first year of government, so they didn't do anything meaningful, but they still budgeted for development expenditure. In the year 2023 to 2024, they still cut out another 800 plus billion for development expenditure. In the last year, there was another 800 billion for development expenditure. That brings it to 2.5. That is the amount of money we raise in a year. So if all the money KRA raises in a year was to be put into development expenditure, aren't we supposed to feel the effect? Aren't we supposed to see it? Ruto should not be telling us how the economy has improved and how his government is doing better. We should feel it. Kibaki did not waste his time with flowery speeches. He did the work, and we all saw the work. And we felt it in our pockets. We don't see that, we don't feel that. And it's getting worse by the moment. Given that we have a tight fiscal space, the government should be recollecting on how to do this differently. I've seen they've made an effort to fund capital projects, roads, transport, the MGR network, meter gauge railway, that is. They are trying to securitize the road development levy so as to acquire funds for the SGR extension from Nairobi to Mulamba. They have also budgeted for the bus rapid transport system in Nairobi. And they have extended several contracts for roads in Central. Probably they are trying to net their votes. And they have earmarked 138 billion shillings for the housing department. But then this still begs the question, do Kenyans need more houses or a better, probably, manufacturing industry? Do Kenyans need more houses in rural areas where they already have homes, or they need a revamping of the agricultural sector? Do Kenyans need more roads and more railway network? I'm not trying to water down this expenditure project, but I'm asking, do we need this as compared to our investment in the creative economy and in the digital space? The government is so quick to charge licensing fees to the young people who are in the digital space and to tax their mega earnings. But it is not robustly budgeted for the creative economy and the digital space in Kenya. If you would ask me today, have we budgeted enough for film production and arts in this country? I wouldn't think so. You saw the filmmakers the other day appealing to the president to at least look them with a kinder eye come this budgeting. But they had forgotten that we are almost reading the budget, so you would not factor that in. If we were to look at other sectors that I would have wanted a bigger budget for, include IPOA. IPOA has decried understaffing, under-resourcing, and they've said this has been part of the reason why they've not discharged their mandate as they are supposed to. And you look at while the people of Narok were promised an airstrip, I don't think that was in the budget. The good people of Kilifi have been heaped on several promises when William Ruto was in the coast region at the ceremony for Fikirini Jacobs?
Yes.
And there's a string of other promises that never reflect on the budget. So how exactly is he supposed to do these projects if they are not budgeted for? Yeah. So looking at this, it's probably another perfunctory exercise just because we need to have a budget every year. Yeah. Ni ile tu hatuwezi ruka mambo ya budget. So that's just the point. Because the sectors that are supposed to receive that are supposed to feel these allocations are not getting these allocations. Yeah. So are we cutting are we really cutting it for these sectors? Ama tunawazungusha tu ikuje tu mwaka ingine just because we need to have a budget. Na kwanza tukienda hapa mbele, we need to rethink the finance bill. As I said it here before, do we need an annual finance bill? Kila mwaka another finance bill. Because this finance bill has made the government lazy. They have not come up with better ways and more creative ways to raise revenue. So they bank on taxes for the bulk of our revenue. What if we said, wait a minute, we can't tax anymore? So this country is supposed to stop. Can't we get money from the minerals? Can't we get money from tourism?